Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another video, and today something else, because today we're going to talk about Last Epoch, of course, but this day we'll do a bit of first impressions. This will be first impressions part 1, because there will be part 2. And part 2 will be about the endgame, about the new endgame system, which I haven't played just yet. Because I need to go to work, right? I had to work today. My day is basically over right now, and so that's why I'm still wearing my suit. But I had to play. I had the opportunity to play about 5-6 hours yesterday because the patch dropped at 8 p.m. So I played until around 1 or 2 a.m. But then I really had to go to sleep because I got work in the morning. So. Work is over, and I thought I'll record a small first impressions video of what I've done so far. I'll tell you a little bit about the campaign, I'll tell you a little bit about the build, and some of the other things that have stood out to me so far. You can hear some of the new music that's playing in the background here in the, the end of time, right? So I think first let's just start with one of the few things that you're gonna notice basically straight away whenever you play the new patch. And that is the new UI. For example, we already have the UI that you see over here. You can see that the UI here and the globe and everything, it's mostly transparent now. I do like it. I think it is rather slick. It looks pretty good, I would say. I'm not sure if it's gonna improve, let's say, the visual clarity all that much. And the reason I'm saying that is because it blends into the environment more. So on the one hand, it is less intrusive because, there's just not much there anymore. A lot of it is cut out. But there may also be a reason why basically any other game that I know of has this in the background. And I think one of the reasons may be that right now it seems to blend into the background quite a bit, making it maybe less visible than you would like to see. Now here I have some issues, right? For the end of time, it's fine. We know this, we've seen this before. I think there's maybe a little bit more detail than previously, but this looks pretty much like the old ones, right? If you go to the ruined era, you get something like this, right? And I feel that this is just too much, right? In my opinion, this is too much. Just look at this. I can't figure out anymore where I'm supposed to be. If there's a quest that you still need to complete over here, which I have, I think, in the, Define era maybe? Like, if there's a quest here somewhere that you still need to complete, you can hardly even see the quest markers anymore, right? I mean, you can hardly even see that there's something going on here. It's just too detailed. It's if someone, if you've ever done this, like in Photoshop or Lightroom or something like that, and you put the sharpening, right, and you put it all the way to the right. That's a little bit what this looks like to me. And I think it's super cool if you have this like hanging on the wall or as a background or whatnot, but as a functional map, it doesn't work for me, honestly. I like the old map much better because here I had serious issues finding my objectives and finding my quests, because this thing over here, right, to me, this does not stand out. Like, look at everything that's going on this map, and then I have this tiny question mark over here. And this is where I need to be, right? And that's for someone that has like almost 1,000 hours into the game. Like, I know where I'm supposed to go, right? I don't need this map anymore. But sometimes I want to like quick travel, and I just had trouble finding where I am right now, where I'm supposed to be. So I would personally love a function where, all the details gone and you just see like, what you need to see, which is, this flow, the locations and the names. You can't really even read the names. Look at this Wangari Fortress. It just doesn't stand out at all. Nomad Camp. It's impossible almost to read. So I'm not entirely sure what happened here. I think the art team went maybe a little bit overboard with the detail and stuff. It's not a deal breaker or anything, but I'm not too happy with this implementation. Now we go to something that I actually do like quite a bit. The crafting page, right? The forge. Completely overhauled. My camera is going to be in the way a little bit. but I think you'll still be able to tell. You can drag it in over here, and then these things pop up. Click on one of these, automatically loads, and you can upgrade. It's pretty good. You have two other things that you can do here. You can select your glyphs, and here you can select your runes. It will take a little bit of getting used to, but it's a lot better already than the previous system. It looks amazing, honestly. I really like what they've done, like with these orange colors and whatnot. And if you do this, right, it just looks so slick, and I think it's quite nice. The regular tab over here, pretty cool as well. As you can see, I haven't even unlocked all my idols yet with this character. I'll talk about the build in a little bit. This is the new idols pouch, meaning that you'll have to figure out to some extent what you're going to do with this, right? Should be quite interesting, honestly. I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see what people come up with. And overall, I think this looks completely fine. I haven't had any issues with this. You can still sort your items, you can still transfer crafting materials. They're on a little bit different positions, but you'll get used to this fast enough, I would say. Few materials brings up this little pane, and you can search for prefixes, any affix, only suffixes. It's quite nice if you want to see, I don't know how many fire related stuff you have. A lot, apparently. Didn't expect 20 results, but sure. Fire aura. Right, yeah, I have about 13 of each of these. You can see which of these are prefixes. All of them apparently. Suffixes, none of them. That's pretty nice, right? That's pretty nice. We got the three different panels over here. You got blessings. I haven't got any blessings yet because I haven't played endgame yet. The inventory, which is the standard one, and appearance. The panel over here got a little update. This is not a massive difference of before. You still have the categories here: minion, other, defense, damage. It's still there. Looks a bit better, a bit more streamlined, but otherwise not too many changes. This is quite a nice overview, I think. This is the skills and specializations. There is a nice distribution of primalist skills, of leveling skills, I guess, and then Beastmaster, Shaman, and Druid. Once again, a little different than what you used to have, but everything is in a single overview, which is quite nice. They're using the real estate on the screen pretty well, and if you want to dive into any of these skills, you can just click on them, right? And then go back and then go over here and click on them. You can immediately click on these ones to show your own skills. I'm not 49 yet. This is skills, and then here you have the passive tree. Also very nice, I think. The tree now moves from left to right, meaning that I'm starting out here on the left as my primalist base class, and then apparently I already gathered 35 points in Shaman or Shaman, and this is what we're doing. And I guess that brings me to the build. I'll tell you a little bit about what I am playing so far. You can already see the crows, right? I am going with a Storm Crow build, and then I'm synergizing with melee lightning damage. So that is at least the idea. So far so good, I guess. I'm using Swipe as my main ability, Summon Storm Totem, Fury Leap for the buffs, Storm Crow or Crow Storm, that's the ability, right? That's what they do. I have this on autocast, normally speaking, just like the totem. And then Earthquake maybe. I'm not sure what to pick as a 5th skill just yet, but I haven't unlocked the specialization either. So my idea so far, but I'm not a theory crafter, so I didn't think about this up front really, just taking this as we go. My idea is to make a character that uses melee damage to buff up the crows, and the crows in their turn, they buff up me. So how does that work? Well, I saw that the crows have, for example, this one aspect of the crow, and it makes me, it gives me melee lightning damage per stack, and this stacks up quite nicely, honestly. It also lasts 8 seconds, which is quite a lot, and I often run around with 10 or 15 stacks, which is 30 to 45 lightning damage, right? And spell lightning damage as well. So I get quite some scaling from this, which is nice, I guess. And then for now, I am giving the crows some additional damage. This is damage, this is crit, crit multi, and this is regular crit, base crit. Here it says your melee hits have 20% chance to improve active Stormcrow's base critical chance for 10 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. So if I hit 3 times, they have a 60% base crit chance. That's insane, right? So they're critting all the time. So I'm going with crit multiplier, I'm giving them the base crit. I will see how it holds up in endgame, I guess, but so far so good. The Storm Totem is just for some buffs and some for additional damage here. Another 15 melee damage. I'm going for a bit of move speed and then additional lightning damage. Even if this thing is shocked recently, which it does all the time. Here going with more lightning damage. Here you get additional lightning damage. So I'm just stacking base lightning damage. And then hopefully with some lightning damage, multipliers maybe, or just increased lightning damage, I will hopefully do enough damage in the end. We will see, right? But that's the idea so far. 5th skill, like I said, not entirely sure. Fury Leap will take the global increased damage, which is always good. I have the global attack speed when I land. That's good. And once again, we're going lightning here. Because why not, right? Lightning bolts whenever I jump in, basically. It's just one big, massive lightning creature going on here. It's quite fun, honestly. Leveling's pretty smooth. And I'm kind of curious to see what happens. But I'm currently only in Act 7. So there's that. I think the last thing that I want to talk about is probably the music. You can hear the music in the background. And they added 16 new tracks, right? I played the whole campaign so far with music. I've heard several of these new tracks. And I am kind of undecided on whether I am like on board with the direction that they're taking. So music for me, also in video games, really elevates, can elevate a video game. But it can also bring tonal shifts and other differences that you don't necessarily expect, maybe. And that is what has happened to me quite a bit during the campaign. I'm running around and all of a sudden this music just like takes me out of the leveling experience. It's just sometimes the music, especially in the desert areas, I noticed this, the music is just so weird and so out of place that even though the music itself could be good, it's completely out of place. And I've had this before. This was my complaint before with Last Epoch. The sad piano tune, right? That was constantly playing over here in the end of time. I'm going to make a specific video about that because I do think it's an interesting topic, and there is plenty of other material and other games that do, in my opinion, a much better job. And yeah, I think in that video I'll try and touch a bit on, you know, how subjective the music is on the one hand, but I think there's also plenty of objective things you can say about this, and especially about like the themes and the thematic sort of, well, how everything is held together and how everything sort of fits together even though they're different tracks, right? I think other games do a great job there, and I think Last Epoch drops the ball quite often actually. On the other hand, I know that music can definitely grow on you. I will play the end game for quite a bit, for at least a week or something, and then make up my mind. The last thing I am very interested about is your opinion, because, well, first of all, I'm working on a review video, like not a first impressions like this one, but an actual review scripted, like my regular content, you could say. And I think it's cool if I have some of your opinions in there as well. So I'm curious what you've liked so far, what you didn't like. And if there's anything specific that I talked about today that you're like, oh yeah, I agree with that or not. What do you think of the music, right? I think that could be interesting. Tomorrow, part 2 of the first impressions, because then I will have played the end game, and I'm gonna give you my first impressions on the whole Monolith of Fate. But that's it, guys. That's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like or subscribe, because that really helps me out, and I will see you soon. Bye bye, guys.